Hello dear students, welcome to the next session of Living World. In today's session, we will discuss regarding how generic name as well as the specific epithet were derived. So let's see the derivation of the generic name and then the specific epithets. The first one is derivation of generic names or the genus name. So how the genus names are derived means, first one, the generic name may be after a scientist, means the name of the genus may be kept or formed after the scientist who discovered that particular genus or the genera. For example, Caesalpinia. So it was after a scientist, that is Caesalpino. Caesalpino is the name of the scientist. After his name, the genus was named as Caesalpinia. Similarly, and Bohin is after a scientist called as Bohin, who introduced binomial nomenclature, right? After the same scientist, who discovered a particular genus, so his name is kept for that genus. So the genus name is Bohinia. Like that, generic name or the genus name may be after the name of the scientist who discovered that particular genus. That is one criteria how the generic name is derived. Or generic names may be formed by the combination of two words. Example, here, Phyte Eliphas. Here, which two words you can see here? Phyto or Phyte is one word, Eliphas is the another word. So, the Phyte Eliphas is the name of the genus or the generic name, which is formed by the combination of two words, that is Phyte and then the Eliphas. Here, Phyte refers to the plant and Eliphas refers to elephant. So, by the combination of these two words, the genus is named. Similarly, Leucodendron. Leucodendron is the name of the genus or the generic name, which is formed by the combination of two words, that is leuco and then the dendro. So here the leuco, meaning of leuco is silver, and here the dendro is nothing but the tree. So by the combination of these two words, a particular genera or the genus name is formed, that is called as Leucodendron. So in this way, the generic name may be formed by the combination of two different words. Is it clear? Make a note of these points now. Similarly, the generic name may be derived, with respect to their origin in the country language or the native language of the country in which that particular plant is discovered. Means, name of the genus or the generic name may be that is from the native language of the country in which that particular plant is derived. For example, Nelumbo. So here, the Nelumbo is the word which is from the language of Sri Lanka. So here this Nelumbo, that is from the country, what is that? Sri Lanka. Means here it indicates, so it was discovered in Sri Lanka. Similarly, the ginkgo, so it is from China. It was discovered in China. So these words are derived from the language of the country in which they were discovered. And you know that any scientific name of the plant or the animal, always they are Latinized irrespective of their origin. But here they got Latinized, but they are from the language which is native to the country in which these plants are discovered. So here the Nelumbo is from the Sri Lankan language, and then the Ginkgo from the China, in which these plants were discovered. Like that, generic name may be derived from the origin in which that particular plant may be discovered. Similarly, the generic names may be written in such a way that the generic name may be a mythological word, or it may be a poetic word, or it may be a fanciful or the fancy word. Means it describes in a poetic manner or the mythological manner, or the fanciness will be present in that particular word or particular name of the genera. Example here, Nymphaea. So here Nymphaea, that denotes water lilies. So here Nymphaea is nothing but the generic name in which it refers to the beautiful water nymphs. See, there is a description of that water lilies as beautiful water nymphs. So there is a poetic manner in describing that particular plant. So here the name of the genera Nymphaea is a poetic word. In this way, the generic name may be including a combination of two words, or it may be including a poetic or the mythological word, or it may be derived from the language of the country in which the plants were discovered, or it may be kept after the name of the discoverer or the name of the scientist. So this is how the generic names are derived. So write these points also. Later we'll discuss how specific epithets are derived or what they contain. So how specific names are derived, as we have learned regarding the derivation of the generic names. See, a specific epithet may be an adjective. Means they may refer to colors, the size, or the habit, habitat, or use, or a character, or their origin. So, example of the specific epithet which refers to colors. For example, rubra is a name of the specific epithet. Here rubra means nothing but it is referring a color that is red. And alba, which refers white color. So specific epithet may be based on the color, or it may be referring to a color, or it may refer to a size of that plant or the organism. So gigantean is the name of the species which refers the size of the organism, that is giant organisms, nothing but the huge bodied or huge size organism. Similarly, the specific epithet may indicate the habit. What do you mean by habit here? Means the function or the particular habit of that organism. Say for example, scandens means which indicate climbing, means that particular plant is a climber. So its specific epithet or the species name is scandens. Similarly, the specific epithet of the species name may indicate habitat of that particular organism, means where that organism lives. Habitat means the living place of an organism. Say for example, if the species name is aquatica or the aquatica, means it refers the organism which lives in water, Similarly, the specific epithet of the scientific species name under the scientific names may be describing the use of that particular organism. Say for example, esculentus, nothing but those plants which are edible, means eatable. So edible or the eatable means that is describing the use of that particular plant. So esculentus is the species name which describes that particular species of the plants can be eatable or usable or edible. Similarly, the species name may indicate character of that particular organism. Example, Spinosa is the name of the species which indicates that particular organism is spiny. So it's the external surface of the body may be having spines over it, so it is spiny. So only its species name is Spinosa. Or if species name is fragrance, means that particular organism may be producing particular fragrance. Fragrance or the fragrant. So its scientific specific name is fragrance. Similarly, if the species name or the specific epithet is named as longifolia, means that indicates a large leaves, the presence of large leaves. Folia refers to leaves. Okay, so longifolia means the large leaves are the long leaves. Large leaves or the long leaves will be present in that particular plant. Like that, the specific name may be referring to the color or size, habit, habitat, use, character, and then origin. So here origin, if I take the example indica, so you are already well versed with an common example what we are taking here, that is Mangifera indica, nothing but the name of the scientific name of mango tree. That indica is referring its origin is India. Mexicana, it refers the origin is Mexico. Americana means here the origin is America. See example, Periplaneta americana is the scientific name of cockroach. So its origin is America, or it belongs to the which native country means America. So like that, the indica or the mexicana or the americana, these species names indicate origin of that particular organisms. So similarly, specific epithet may be found by the combination of two words also. Example, latifolia. Here lati and folia. Lati means here the broad, folia means leaves. Means the plants which are having broad leaves, those belongs to the species called as latifolia. Similarly, if the scientific name, species name is a grandiflora, means that indicate, okay, here that indicates a large flowered plants, means the plants which produces or bears the large flowers belongs to the species that is grandiflora. In this way, the specific epithet is derived based on this criteria. So make a note of these points. Let's discuss two more, the criteria how the specific epithets are derived. Make a note of these points now. See, specific epithet may be kept after the name of a famous biologist. Example, Eucalyptus mulleriana. So this is the scientific name of a plant which is kept after the scientist or the biologist named Muller. So after the name of that biologist Muller, so its species name is kept as mulleriana. Similarly, the species name or the specific epithet may indicate the use of that product or the products produced by that particular organism or the plant. Say for example, Nicotiana tobacum, which is used in the production of tobacco. Similarly, Theobroma cocoa, which is used in the production of cocoa. And the Ferula asafoetida, which is used in the production of asafoetida. So what is the use of asafoetida? It is used as the flavoring spice in the preparation of the food. So based on the products produced by that particular organism, their species names are derived. So this is how the species name of the organisms in biological names are derived. So this is for today's class, and in next class we are going to discuss regarding the 3-domain system of classification, and then the last part of the living world, taxonomical aids. Okay, thank you guys.